Hello and welcome back to the Katie's Arms, which is the first Katie's Arms actually since I've arrived back into the UK. So it feels like I've been gone forever, whereas in fact we have been doing these on the road. Rather alarmingly, my own mother asked me the other day why there wasn't a Katie's Arms on Friday, because we were supposed to do these at Friday at 8 p.m. and it was because I was rather busy or whatever I was doing. And then I was like, Mother, you're not supposed to be watching these, as all of you will know that follow or join us regularly for Katie's Arms. My mother is banned because I mention words that my mum shouldn't know about, and I talk about things my mother definitely shouldn't know about. So Mother, if you're watching, Monty Don, remember we talked about this. My mother says that she watches until the point that the language gets too bad and then she turns away. So, Mum, just leave now before you're offended. I am trying not to. Yes, I learnt a new word this week. I don't know if any of you know it, but it's wang. I never knew there was a word called wang, and it's your lady bits, which I would call like a foof or just a foof, but my husband calls them a wang. I never knew that was a thing. So, but my point about my shorts is that I'm trying not to show my wang. If I do show it, well, you know, tough shit really, and suck it up. I mean, not suck it up, but if I show it, I do. But I'm more actually excited by the word wang, and I'm trying to use it a lot. I tried it earlier, actually, and my daughter caught me. I was offering to show my husband my wang. So, yeah, anyway, if there is a wang flash, get over yourselves because it's hot and I'm wearing shorts. So I have actually stolen them from my daughter. One of the very good things about having teenage girls is you can then steal their clothes back. So they don't want any of my clothes, obviously, but I can now steal their clothes. And I probably should say as well, happy birthday. It's my daughter's birthday today, and I'm here in the UK for her birthday. We discussed at lunchtime that it's probably the first birthday I've been at for the last, I think, 7 years or so. So I'm super proud of myself. I'm obviously a brilliant mum. I expect Mumsnet are going to want to sign me up really soon as some sort of mum guru. All the school gate mums would be just like, yeah, she's such a great mum. She's like, turned up for one birthday in 7. Yes. So I'm actually proud of myself. I'm sharing it with you because I need everyone to know that I was here for one of my children's birthday. And not only that, my daughter is 17 and she's still alive. And that is a really, improbable thing with me as a mother. And so essentially the lunch today was with friends at a brilliant restaurant, one of the best restaurants I know in the West Country, called Harry's. So if you're ever in Exeter, do go to Harry's because everybody there is just the best. Anyway, they were like, what's the celebration? Is it a birthday? And I was like, well, it's more that one of my children is still alive at the age of 17. I feel like, yes, I've made it. So I am that mother, although I've never made a freaking fruit kebab. So go me as well. I wanted to also say about this T-shirt. I'm not being like one of those weird people that tries to sell things. Certainly not trying to vlog anything, and certainly nothing is to do with me. But obviously I'm an influencer, and obviously I'll be in Dubai very, very soon in a bikini with some footballer, because that's how that works, right? These lovely T-shirts are made by a lady called, hold on, Millie Rose. And I want to do this properly because I'm not very good at this. Because I'm not very good at imagining anybody would want anything I have, including herpes or syphilis. But at Millie Rose _ all the best people have an _ Katie, _ Hopkins, _ everything. So Millie Rose _ UK. And lovely Millie Rose, hold on, I'm going to try and put it there. The Millie Rose there. She has these T-shirts and she has 3 of them to give away to you at Katie's Arms. I don't know what size they are. Don't ask me any details. Don't ask me any questions. I know people are saying it's back to front because I don't know how to do this whole reflective thing. But imagine it says Katie's Arms, and imagine these boobs are like double Ds, so that's yours. Then that will look brilliant. But anyway, lovely Millie Rose _ UK is a lovely lady, I'm sure, who is trying to bloody sustain herself and her family and anybody she cares for, I'm sure. And if you'd like to go to her site, she has those great T-shirts that she has, I think, yes, I have it upstairs, Live, Laugh, Love. So whatever, go there if you want to. And just to prove that I'm not taking any financial incentive, this was just a nice thank you card from her to say thank you for supporting local business. That's what we're all about here, is trying to make each other feel bloody better. Someone's saying this is not live. Right, so if it's not live, darling, how have I just read that this is not live? Honestly, how thick do you have to be? How desperate do you have to be to criticise me, to come onto this stream that clearly says live and say it's not live? The only thing that's not live, my darling, is your frigging love life. And the reason for that is you're the sort of critical bastard that comes onto things like this and suggests it's not live when it bloody well is. And so if you want to criticise, just piss off. Piss off and do something else. Go and put your head down in a lavatory. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about your opinion, and I don't give a shit about your life, darling. Just piss off and leave the rest of us here who are having a jolly nice time. People either opt in to watch this shit or they don't. They can go for a walk. They can watch other stuff. They can do what they like. But if all you've got while you've got your sticky little tiny penis in your hand is to criticise, do offity piss. And that goes to everybody on my YouTube and everybody on my Instagram who just wants to be a miserable bastard. Because frankly, we've had enough of miserable bastards. We've also had enough of other things. I think we could do a little list today, couldn't we? Now, I only drink Merlot, but my mother did not drink all of her girl drink. What's this? Rosé. So I've got to drink it. I don't drink rosé because obviously rosé is for people who don't know how to properly drink wine. What's one of the things we're pissed off this week about, darlings? And we need to laugh at the bastards all the time now. If you're thinking, how do I react to this? You laugh. You laugh, you laugh, you laugh. When someone who's had double vax and they want to tell you, I've been double vaxxed. I got the AstraZeneca. I got the Pfizer. You just laugh at them. You just laugh, laugh, laugh. I don't go, oh, did you? Well done. And so hit them with a tsunami of love. And so one of my mechanisms for not wearing a mask anywhere is you do the tsunami of love, right? So my husband's like, you do need a mask. I'm like, no. You just need the tsunami of love. So what you're doing is you're walking towards a bathroom. Maybe a waitress is looking at you with the face that says you haven't got your mask on and you go, hey, how you doing? And that of tsunami of love, they don't even know what to do with it. So instead of being like sheepish and like, oh, she's going to ask me about my mask, you just bosh them with, oh my God, just go full like psychopath, love the world, as if you couldn't love them anymore. And literally there's nothing they just sort of stand there like, shit, she's so happy, I don't know what to do with her. So tsunami of love is your method of getting through this week. I had the AstraZeneca jab. You know, if someone's giving you that shit, you go, oh my God, did you? Good for you. And then keep walking. The other more malicious option, I think we've discussed this before at Katie's Arms, is that you do the middle distance concerned look, which is, ooh. And you look off into the middle distance in a concerned fashion, thinking about blood clots. But that's less good than the tsunami of love. Also, I like saying the word tsunami because you can pronounce the T. I don't know if you watched the French Open, but the Greek guy who lost, it was called essentially, hold on, I had to write it down, Tsitsipas, which when you write it down looks like Titsipas. Huh? If I was a tennis commentator, I'd have had the best fun today. Also, Djokovic is a madman and a weirdo. He could stab people to death in the night with an ice pick and still turn up and play tennis at 6 a.m, you know, in a red top. That's Djokovic. I don't trust him. I don't like him. I don't like it when he wins things. I would rather Nadal won things and he picks his arse every 2 seconds. The other issue with Djokovic is that because he's such a, he's not even on the spectrum was specifically invented for Djokovic, I'm sure of it. I think he probably eats his own sneakers, like as his meal times, because he's just that weird and his hair grows at a really weird angle. Like most hair grows up and back. His grows forwards at like 80 degrees from his scalp. That's not normal. And on the subject of hair, tennis players' hair, this is a bit of a segue I hadn't planned. Did you see Nadal's hair? There's none left. Nadal is surrounded by people. He's surrounded by stylists. He's surrounded by a dream team. How has no one told Nadal that he needs to shave that shit? You can't be bald and then pull off like 3 strands like Elton John the old years. You just got to shave that shit off. Can someone mess it? If Nadal's team are watching, for Christ's sake, one of you have some balls. We don't mind that he's picking his shorts out of his arse every 2 minutes, but he needs to shave his head. Let's talk about the G7. I think we can all agree that the G7 can piss right off. Just checking from a wang. I think the last thing we need to be watching right now, when we're all locked down to death, is watching 7 world leaders toss about on a Cornish beach. Is it not the most infuriating thing? We'll lock you bastards all down. We'll stop you doing what you want. We'll make it so it's 400 quid for a regular family to go on a freaking campsite somewhere 4 miles from any kind of seaside resort. But us fat bastards will take over an entire beach, and then we have to watch, as if we're somehow going to applaud it, the fat freaking walrus that is Boris Damwell Johnson walrus his way into the sea like some whale, some incontinent whale that got beached somewhere in the West Country, and we're all supposed to go, oh, that's so great, that's our Prime Minister and he's taking a swim, isn't it great? No, piss off back to London, piss off with your new bird, and piss off with your flouncing around in your pretend clothes. What does Carrie actually think she looks like? What does she actually think she is? She thinks she's the First Lady, doesn't she? She thinks she's Melania, except she's just got shit taste in fashion. Not that I know shit about fashion, but she's got shit taste in clothes, and she wafts about thinking she's something. She is nothing. What is it? Oh yeah, let's wear fuchsia. Because if I wear fuchsia, I'll stand out in the pictures. And then she stands there pigeon-toed like some geek, looking like a knob. And what was that blue suit she had on that was 18 foot too long for her tiny weeny little legs? Ugh. Then you see the walrus inflating himself into the ocean. You're like, she has literally been on that thing in order to produce the weird kid. Now, no one is talking about the weird kid, right? No one, because you're not allowed take the piss out of kids, especially not other people's kids, and you're not allowed to say unkind things about babies, right? Well, screw that for a game of marbles, because Wilfred, the kid, is the weirdest looking kid that I have ever seen. And believe me, I've had my own children, and they were not the Bowden catalogue kids you might have anticipated. Wilfred is bloody weird. I don't care what you say. From behind, he looks bloody weird. His head looks weird, his hair looks weird, weird kid. So we can all pretend, oh, Wilfred, and oh, here's the G7 wives looking at the weird kid. They're not looking at the kid going, oh, isn't that nice? Oh, Carrie's had a baby with that weird walrus guy who's obviously had 55 wives and is still shagging someone else that Katie Hopkins knows. Did I say that? Oh no, I said that live. Anyway, they're looking at the kid thinking, that's a weird looking kid. You can see it in the eyes of Macron's grandma that's actually his wife because he shagged his teacher at school because he's trying not to tell the world that he's actually allegedly gay. Did I say that on the live as well? Either which way, they're looking at the baby thinking it looks weird, and Carrie has taken it to Cornwall like the way people take dogs to Cornwall to kind of show it off. Here's a kid. Here's a distraction. It doesn't make you relevant, Carrie, nor your green shit, nor your gender neutral shit, nor your climate matters shit. How long do you think it's going to be, people? I will look at the feed. How long do you think it's going to be before we see Greta Thunberg resurface? How long? Because I think we need a chart, darlings, don't we, for Katie's Arms? We need to start betting things that we can then re-refer to see how right we were. I'm giving it 2 months. I'm giving it, there's going to be like a news cycle. It's already planned and scripted, I swear to God. Greta Thunberg is going to make a reappearance. I suspect she may be lined up to take over from David Attenborough when he very sadly passes away. Greta Thunberg she's gone too quiet. Do you notice? She's going to reappear. And the only shit that goes against Greta Thunberg now, apart from the fact she's an arsehole, she's tragic, she believes in climate science, and for some reason she thinks she's God's gift to humanity, even though she comes from very wealthy parents who really don't give a shit about anything but themselves, is that Greta Thunberg is going to make a reappearance. But this time she's not going to be a cute kid in a cagoule with the whole pigtails, is she? She's going to be an adult, and therefore she can now be criticised without the left going, you can't criticise that, it's a child with pigtails. Yeah, piss off. So we're going to see Greta Thunberg re-emerge very soon. That's my prediction. And I will get a Katie's Arms wall, and then we can have our predictions up. So the G7 can all bugger off. I mean, what a weird bunch they are. Why are they on the beach? Why are they pretending to have a barbecue in heels? No one wears heels to a barbecue. Macron's wife looked like a bloody lunatic in her black dress with her heels, supposedly at a barbecue. And then all these bullshit distance photos. And then you see Macron behind Biden trying to hump his leg like some French dog desperate for a croissant. It's like, Jesus Christ, Biden needs to spray his crotch to get that bastard off his legs. Like, who can hump Biden? And of course, the reason they've kept old Biden away from Wilfred, even though Wilfred is the weirdest looking kid anyone's ever seen, is that in America, where I just spent 3 months, he's known for sniffing kids. Like, he's known as Sniff. Like, so Biden's known as Sniff, and then Kamala Harris, the vice president, I mean, my American friends will back me up here, is known as Blow because she blew her way to the top. So they're known as Sniff and Blow, the president and the vice president. So the reason he's not allowed near Wilfred is he'd be sniffing him. He does weird, he sniffs the ear oil. It's too much. But anyway, it made me a bit gag that, but yeah, Biden's known as Sniff, so that's why you only see pictured of the weird kid with Jill as opposed to the weird kid with Biden, because Biden would be like trying to sniff his head, which would be a weird optic even for the G7, which is weird in itself. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to discuss was the whole vaccine bullshit that's going on. I'm pissed off with people trying to call other people selfish for not having the vaccine. I'm pissed off with the term anti-vaxxer. You may have seen my rant earlier in the week. Look, I even made a label, which I've brought forth for the Katie's Arms. And yeah, we should sort this out so this does read correctly, I'm sure. This is bullshit. Anybody that doesn't want this state injectable currently being foisted onto the public is not an anti-vaxxer. As we know, anti-vaxxer is a terminology that's supposed to be indicative of something, derogatory. In the same way that if you voted Trump and you didn't support Clinton, you were called a deplorable. In the same way that if you ever criticise the fat, you get called fattest. No, I'm just a realist and I don't want to pay for fatty boom booms when I have to buy them a new hip. You're not an anti-vaxxer if you don't want to have a state injectable. You're just a rational individual who's made a personal decision about your own body. You don't have to argue back when people say, oh, you one of those loony anti-vaxxers. Just say, yes, I am, and I ate my own umbilical cord. Just come out with a line. Are you one of those weird anti-vaxxers? Oh, yes, I am, and I lick my own armpits when I want salt on my chips. Find yourself a line and then just, articulate it in your defence. Don't ever try and counter someone's bastard question. Are you an anti-vaxxer? Oh, maybe, but look how hot my ass is, and then drop your trousers. Just find the line that you're comfortable with and hit it every time, because each time it will allow you to walk away feeling happy with yourself and leave them thinking, shit, I shouldn't have asked that daft question. The other thing you notice, isn't it, is we don't ask people who've had the vaccine, have you had the vaccine? Because we don't give a shit whether you had it or not, because it's not our business. It's a bit like if I had my wang smear tested, I wouldn't necessarily need to show someone that I had my wang smear tested. So that's another great line. If someone says, oh, are you one of those anti-vaxxers? You can say, oh, I'm not so big on the vaccine, but I just had my wang smeared. Do you want to talk about that? So, or you could use your penis, no, but I just had my penis pierced. Would you like to see it? Just go real intimate, just go real, go straight to something that makes them feel awkward, because that's a good. Katie, I love you, but please put some longer shorts on. No, offity piss, same rule for you. I won't put longer shorts on because you don't have to look at my wang and you don't have to be here on this live. Piss off. I'm not asking you to be here. I'm not even wanting you to stay. I'd rather you left. If you don't like my shorts, that's your issue. I don't give offence. You take it. Go and take it somewhere else with someone else. Who gives a shit about you? Because it's not me. I'll wear these shorts and shorter shorts, or no shorts if I want to. You're making the choice to sit there looking at my vagina, which probably suggests you need either a hobby or a sex life, and you have neither. Probably no job either. probably on furlough and enjoying just sitting on your ass, and no doubt you've been double vaccinated as well. Some people have said to me, Katie, don't mock people who've been double vaccinated. Actually, yes, I'm going to, because we're short of laughs at the moment, and I'm getting a good laugh out of people that have been vaccinated because you've got piss all in return for it. You were told, get vaccinated and you'll get your freedom back. And that has been a complete bullshit lie, hasn't it? You've got double vaccinated and you've got shit all in return, apart from a bit of anxiety about whether you're going to get headaches tomorrow. Now, I shouldn't laugh about this because it's not appropriate, but there was a major this is not okay. There was a major pile-up and a road traffic accident the other day. No one was seriously injured. No one was seriously injured, but there was a massive road traffic accident. And it was people queuing in a line, what do you call it here? Yeah, queuing to go and to go to the vaccination centre. Is that just me? Or is it just funny that people who are going to get a vaccine for something they don't really need end up in a traffic accident? No, that's okay. That's absolutely, yeah, not funny at all. Some people have been asking me if I did this at a time when when GB News was on purpose. Not at all. 8 o'clock Friday is when we should have been doing this, and we ended up doing it tonight instead. I have nothing against GB News. God knows we need, I hope that channel's going to be funny. You know, I hope they're going to laugh at things, laugh at the news, laugh at people, laugh at the pretense. But I do want to just say this. Is there anything that makes it onto mainstream? I just want to try and... Okay, blank piece of paper. I just want to say, you know, this, so the Overton window, right? This is the range of things you're allowed to talk about, the Overton window. And it used to be really a lot bigger. Like, it used to have things inside it like hello, hello, or Jim Davidson, or whatever, me, right? And then the Overton window of things you're allowed to say gets smaller and smaller. And so now suddenly Jim Davidson isn't allowed, and now I'm not allowed, and now David Walliams and all of those skits, right? They're not allowed anymore because the Overton window of things you're allowed to say got smaller, right? So the job of people in this window, as it gets ever smaller, the list of approved thought, is they have to make their conversations more and more animated, more and more, oh, there's so much, oh, look at us really debating, oh, look at us getting all excitable, oh, look at us, oh, look at my dress, oh, look at my tits, oh, look at my whatever, oh, here's Piers Morgan getting sweaty, oh, because they have to make the things they're allowed to say seem as if you're still hearing what you used to be able to hear, right? So as the Overton window gets smaller, the things you're allowed to say gets fewer, people have to make it look more dramatic here, like the Daily Mail, Dan Wootton, oh my God! Because actually the things they're allowed to say are tiny, because none of us are allowed to be there saying that shit anymore, right? So I wish GB News all the best. I damn well hope they can push this window back out, but I think we probably can all see that in reality, you're only ever going to be allowed to hear the things you can hear. They're never going to take that risk that says, get Jim Davidson on to be funny, or whomever, right? Because they can't take the risk because they'll be taken off air. So I wish them all the damn best. And no, this had nothing to do with that. Right, I think that was my list of things that I wanted to talk about. I will look, I'm supposed to ask questions, aren't I? Or answer questions rather. People keep sort of, I'm like as if, what's that freaky little travel guy that's with the dullest man on the planet who ended up getting work? What's he called? Simon Calder, the travel guy. Like he gets up anytime there's like anything to do with travel, like a plane thing or a delay or an airport thing or who can go to Spain, they wheel out Simon Calder like he's the only travel guy ever. I've become this weird like COVID Simon Calder because I got to America and was there for 3 months and really don't give a shit. I get emailed with people's travel questions all the time, like, I need to go to a family wedding in doo-doo-doo, can I go? My overriding message here, without wanting to be Simon Calder in any way, because I'm a lot more interesting than Simon Calder will ever be, and Simon Calder must be single, surely, is that you will always come up with a reason why you can't do something, right? You will, I'll get this all the time in the emails. I really want to go here, but I've got this and I've got a job and I've got children and people list these excuses like as if I haven't got that shit. We've all got an excuse. They're in life. There will always be a reason why you can't do something. So please don't ask me for travel advice if you're about to list off the reasons you can't do it, because you're starting off with a whole wrong attitude. The only way you're getting anywhere is you decide that the time for asking permission is over and the time for waiting for an answer is through. And you just have to say, I am doing this, and you commit to it and you bust your balls and you make it happen. You may have shit you have to deal with in the background. It might not be possible for you for whatever excuse you've given yourself. But it's a bit like, you know, me putting on 3.5 stone and losing it again. You just have to decide your shit and own it. And if you're owning your decision to just stay home and that's fine, that's fine. But I'm not going to give you a magic way of doing anything. You have to first own that thing about, boom, we're going. Someone asked me about England taking the knee. I think it's a load of old shit. I'm desperately happy that they won. I couldn't be more thrilled that they won against Croatia. I wish Gareth Southgate all the best. I wish he'd put the waistcoats back on. He looked a lot hotter in the waistcoats. This year it's the whole sartorial thing isn't working. I want the England team to win everything because I love it. I especially like it when they beat Germany because after all, 2 world wars. You know, I'm not allowed to talk about the war, but taking the knee is bullshit. I don't believe that cheers drowned out the boos at all. I think whoever's manipulating the audio made it seem that way. We've all had enough of the bullshit of politics in sport. No one's booing because they're racist. We're booing because we don't need that politics shit rammed down our throats when, frankly, life is shit enough already and we never want to see another politician as long as we live. Not if it's to do with politics and people taking a knee, not if it's fat bastard Boris being a whale and jumping into the sea, and not if it's Macron trying to hump Biden's leg. We don't need any more politics. The only thing we need to commit to is having a good time. And that's why when I see the pictures of English football supporters belly sliding through fountains, great, take your clothes off, bloody helicopter willy your way around whatever town or city you're in. That's what we need. My overarching and my biggest fear before coming on here tonight was, you know, I worry that we're losing the fun. Like, one of my proudest things about being British is the British sense of humour. And you can't find it anywhere else in the world. There is no sense of humour as glorious or as dry or as sarcastic or as self-deprecating as the British sense of humour. And I love it so much. And my biggest fear of COVID and lockdown is that we would lose that and we would lose our sense of funny. And I think that's partly it explains kind of a lot of me recently is just trying to find the funny, because that's literally all I care about for Britain right now. I just need us to hold on to our sense of humour so we can begin this fight back. Yeah, I think that's it from me for this evening. I'm just looking at my last bit of rosé thinking time for me to go and get a Merlot. So thank you so much to everybody. I mean to say a lot of thank yous actually. Thank you to everybody in America who's been so brilliant to me for 3 months. Oh, it's hard, you know, leaving one life to another, but it's brilliant to be back in the UK. And the UK is truly beautiful. Like running around, seeing the hedgerows and stuff, I'm like, oh, the UK is really pretty. Although I realise I missed all the pissing rain. Thank you to everybody who's so supportive on Instagram and who writes, you know, just sharing your stuff. And to people who email me, you know, I wanted to just quickly, with 2 minutes before I don't want to take your time, but Katie, please help. My parents are nigh on forcing me to have a vaccine. I'm only 19, so I'm still living at home. So I'm praying that my turn doesn't come for a while. How can I fake it to them if I'm called up before I leave? I understand you get a certificate, so I can't just tape up some cotton wool on my arm. Please help. And that's from a sweet little boy. I don't mean little boy in a patronising sense. I mean, that's from a 19-year-old. These are the emails that I get, not the emails where I think people think I'm Simon Calder with small tits, but this is the emails that matter and that upset me. Is 19-year-olds asking how can he still managed to keep his bed at home when his parents are forcing him to have the vaccine. You know, and it's those times I want to say, give me your parents' damn email or give me your parents' home address, and I want to go and visit them and ask them to back off this kid and respect the fact that he needs to make his choices. And if you've got your vaccine, then you don't need to worry about what someone else is trying to do. And imagine the point where a child is feeling like they might not have a place to sleep because they're not willing to have something injected into their arm. Is that really what we became? So do keep emailing me, katie@katiehopkins.co.uk. I will always try and reply, and you always have my support, no matter what. Because frankly, my darlings, we don't need to agree ever. Someone said to me today, I thought you used to think you were a right cunt, but now I think you're all right. And I think what they're trying to say there is, I used to disagree with you and now we agree. And that's still fine, isn't it? We don't have to agree, right? We can disagree and that's still fine. And actually, I hope that Instagram, this Instagram, _Katie_Hopkins_, it's all of your Instagram and a place where people can disagree. And I'd be very happy to hand this Instagram account over sometime to someone far more capable than myself. So let's keep gathering here. We'll keep up the good fight of trying to keep our great British sense of humour. And I will leave you now to go catch up with GB News. They're probably sweating from the testicles with 1,000 technical glitches, and people not used to having someone speak in their ear will be doing this face, which is the face people do when they're trying to talk and they're not used to someone giving them direction in their ear. Keep a lookout for that face. And otherwise, Katie's Arms. I'm really going to try and stick to Friday, 8 p.m. and I will look forward to seeing you next week. And if you win yourself a t-shirt from @MillieRose_UK, oh please, please be hot in it. Don't be some sweaty pervert that likes to wear a mask. If you're a mask pervert, do not try and get to Katie's Arms t-shirt, because frankly, you could piss right off. Okay, my darlings, love you, love you, love you. Have a great evening, go drink wine, and try to remember tomorrow and this week, tsunami of love. Hit them with the tsunami of love and go and drink wine. And the best thing you can do is keep your sense of humour, because that's what they're trying to take from all of us. Okay, I'll see you next time.